So now we assume you have your paperwork, the ones you wanted, whatever. If you will send it back per mail, or if you go to the premise and find it there, the system is all the same. So we will go through to the principles and to the way to vote. So there is a question: those who have not received an invitation but have an unde, just go and vote. Probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can go with your ID. If you have been if you have already registered yourself at the Bürgeramt, you are on the election list, so they will find you there. If you're not in that list, then it means something went very wrong. But normally there is no problem there. But you should have received invitation. Yes, the one thing though is I've recently heard that some of the invitations got lost in the post.
Oh.
So this might happen. But in that case, at the polling station, you can vote. The only thing is you have to go to the right one, but you can find the right one on the link we have just sent. This is which is your Wahlbüro. Because based on your address, it will tell you where you have to vote. I hope.
Okay, so usually, yes, it says there is the Wahlraum, and often it's schools or other administrative locations, and this is individually, it depends on where you live exactly. So what I will do now is explain how to fill in the paper, of course, in a neutral way, just the principles that I want to explain. And the principles are the same for all the votes. So we're not going to differentiate between KV or city council or whatever else there is. So it's all the same principles. So you have several options, which I would like to present to you. The first principle being the vote is mainly for people, for candidates, and not primarily for parties, although you can vote for parties as well. But so I think we will go through the different slides now. Thank you, Nico, for clicking.
I do? Okay.
Should I click? I don't think I can.
No, I have to click. You want to stay at a glance, or should I move on?
Next one, please.
Okay.
Okay, so you can vote for more than one candidate. I will explain this right now, and you see this on this first page. So the first principle is here. You have different numbers of votes for each institution. So for example, for the KV, you will have 37 votes. But for our example here for the slideshow, we have put the example with 15 votes because it's a bit easier to explain. Otherwise, we would need more than an hour, I think. So you just need to check on each of the Wahlbenachrichtigungen or Wahlschein how many votes you have. Nico will show you in the, I think we can still see you, Nico. I can still see you. So
document on the top left, you will see Sie haben 37 Stimmen. You have 37 votes. That's exactly the number of positions in the council. And it's the same for every election. You have one vote per seat. So you can create your own council. So and every candidate has a reference number, which is precise on the voting document.
Yeah, so the list have numbers and the candidates have numbers, and we have put a dummy example in the slide where we have not put any names, of course, but numbers. So I will just refer to the numbers when I speak of the candidates. So what you can do as first principle is vote for the people, and you can vote for how many people you want, up until the maximum number of votes you have being the seats that are to be filled. In this example, you have 15 votes, and in this example, you vote for candidate as 101, 103, etc., from different parties up until you have 15 people that you chose. You should not exceed the 15 votes. Nico, that was too soon. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sorry, we are still on first principle. I'm very sorry.
Just be aware not to exceed the amount of votes you have in total, because otherwise, even if it's just one too much, the entire vote will be void, will be invalid, and the ballot will be lost somehow. So this is something really to look up. Next slide. we see that you can also weight the vote for certain people, so that you can do until 3 check boxes for each candidate, meaning that if you like some candidates particularly, you can vote 3 times for them and enhance their voting chances or chances to be elected. In this example, the candidate 103 and 203 have been particularly sympathetic to you, so you chose to vote to give them 3 votes out of the 15. For others, you will give the double vote, 101 in this example, and others you just think they are good candidates, but they are not your favorites, so you will give 1 checkbox to them. Again, up until the 15 maximum votes. So this is a way to just, it's really voting à la carte. You can do your own little mix of your imaginary council representation. Moving on. You can also, if you think it's way too complicated and you don't really know the candidates particularly, you can decide to just vote for a party or a list. In the example of KAV, it's not only political parties, it's also just national or cultural lists, such as we are with Français de S. But you can decide to vote for one list or one party, and then all of your votes, all 15, will go to that party. And I think the next slide will show how they are allocated. Yes, so if you just check the box party 1 and no other, the 15 votes will be assigned chronologically from the first candidate until the last candidate of the list. In this example, the list or the party has presented 15 candidates. You have 15 votes. That means that each of the candidates will get 1 vote. However, yes, you can also assign less than 15 votes. That was the other case, because in this case, in this example, Paul, you voted for the party. So you distribute all your votes to the entire party. The 15 crosses we have put in the slide is just imaginary. That's how the votes are counted later on. On the slide before, where I showed that you can allocate your 15 votes to different candidates throughout the lists, in case you decide to just put 13 votes, 13 check boxes, then you will just lose 2 voices, but that doesn't matter. So that's just
that doesn't make the vote void. But
that doesn't make the vote void. It's just on you to decide if you want to use all your votes or not. Okay, so this is voting for a party, and then you can also do.
This is voting for a party, but for a shorter list.
Yes, thanks. So in case the party has less than 15 candidates, in this example, the list has 10 candidates, but of course you have still 15 votes. You voted for the party, and so when they count your ballot, the 15 votes will be allocated chronologically and then start again. So the first 5 candidates will have double votes, and the other 5 candidates will be just having 1 vote, because the list is incomplete, as we say. Next. So now you can also vote a list, but maybe there are some candidates you totally dislike for whatever reason. So what you can do is putting the check on the party box, party 1, but checking or crossing, erasing some candidates. In this example, 103, 105, 108, 113, and then these will not get any votes at all. They will not be counted on behalf of your ballot. Instead, the others will be allocated the 15 voices, again in a chronological way, subtracting the 4 persons that you have erased.
So this means here, the only thing you would have to do is you check party 1 on top, and you erase the candidates you don't like. And then during the count, they will automatically put the crosses the way it is done here. I could have done the animation, but I was lazy, and that's why I've done immediately the final result.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Then you can also put favorites in it again. So you can check the party box, party 1. But then you are particularly eager on having candidate 102, 106, and 111 elected. So you give them 3 of your voices, And you can also vote for a candidate of another party.
Yeah, and then you will see the results. The
This,
result is, since there are some crosses missing, they will be added on the party you've checked.
okay, so moving on again. So what you cannot do, this is an example that would be invalid. You cannot check two party boxes because you can vote for different candidates throughout the lists and the parties. And you can do a mix of voting for people and lists, but you cannot vote for two parties. This is not allowed, and this would not be counted, so it would be invalid. So please don't do that. And now I think in the final example, we have a mix of everything.
German style.
Mixing it together, voting German style. I really like that example. So you would proceed as follow. You would probably start by voting for candidates that have caught your attention. In this case, there are 3 candidates that you really like a lot. So you give them 3 voices each. Then there is from another party a candidate that you like pretty much. You give them 2 votes. From the second party, there is one candidate you think is not that bad, so give them one voice also. And then you're a bit tired of allocating the 15 votes and you think finally party 1 is pretty much my party. So you give all the rest of your votes to party 1 by checking this checkbox. And of course there is the one you don't like. So the 1 or 3 you really don't like. So you you erase them from the list. And in the end, what they will do when they count, they will first see that you have allocated 9, 13, 13 voices, 15, oh, sorry, very bad with counting, so it's 9, 12 voices directly, and there are 3 left, so the 3 will go to candidate 104, 105, and 106, because they're on the list of the party that you liked. So I hope we have been able to make this clear pretty much. I know it's really complicated and it's a very specific way to vote, but that's the way we do, and we wanted to share this with you. So there is a question, if you vote for party 1, sorry, can you help me out, Nico, because in
the same example, you give 1 and 2 1 vote, and for one party 1, then they have 2 votes. No, they will have only 1.
Yes, they will.
Okay, Florian is the expert here, so please, Florian.
Sorry. So hello everybody. I'm back home. I didn't present myself. I'm the actual vice president.
Yes. So Florian, we can't hear you super well. So please tell us. Florian.
Your connection is pretty bad,
okay,
unfortunately.
If you make 1 cross to the first person, okay, wait a second. Yes, it's better. No, it's better.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. So if you make 1 cross for the first person of one party and you cross the party, the list will be filled in with crosses, starting with the first person. So the first person will have 2 votes, and the other people will have 1 vote, because you gave an extra vote to this person. This means that if you give 3 votes to the first person of a party and you cross the party, of course, it doesn't get a 4th vote. You get only the 3 you gave, and the second one starts with 1 vote, the third one with 1 vote. I hope it's quite good explained. My English is not that good.
Yes, bottom line is you make a cross and vote for the party, the person gets 2 votes. You make 2 crosses, vote for the party, the person gets 3, as you were mentioning on your example in the chat.